What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? How y'all doing tonight? Give me one moment. We got a few things to talk about tonight. I want to hear y'all opinions on the subject at hand. I know I've been away for a minute. We're gonna get the train back rolling like we used to. Y'all know how we used to do. What's going on, everyone? What's up, DJ 85? What's going on? Let me know y'all. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Good. Let me know how my sound is going tonight. Let this be a warning to those who forget the meaning of DI love. All right, Lillian. Let me know if my mic is good. Let me know. Sound is good. All right, cool. Well, hey, Lillian, how you doing? What's going on, JSU Tiger? When you gonna unblock me? I got you blocked. I got you blocked, DJ 85. You must have said something crazy to me. What you do, DJ 85? You must have did something crazy. You had to. What'd you say, DJ 85? You must have said something crazy. For me to block somebody, because I barely ever block people unless they just really, unless you just say something crazy or egregious, then that's when, I have to, I have to block you. Yes, you blocked me, man. I don't know why I blocked you. What you say? All I said was I don't want to hear about Colorado every day. I wouldn't have blocked you for that. That ain't nothing I would block you for. Yo, like, what's up, bro? What's going on? One main, 3 times TV. What's going on? Yeah, I don't be blocking folks. If I still got what's his name up in here? They be coming in here trolling. Courtney. If I still got Courtney on the channel, y'all know I don't be blocking people like that. Well, shoot me a DM on Instagram and let me know your name, and I'll unblock you. You said, well, I got you blocked on Twitter, or is it YouTube? Because you wouldn't be able to comment if I had you blocked on YouTube. Tap dancing. If it's Twitter, if I got you blocked on Twitter, just DM me on IG or Facebook. Oh, it's Twitter. Okay. DM me on IG and I'll unblock you. How was the XFL game? The XFL game was awesome, man. I think that league is gonna be here to stay. I know they did the Vegas team wrong. They got the Vegas team playing in the trap. But it was fun, man. It was fun. I had a good time. I'm actually going to the game on March 5th against the St. Louis Battlehawks. So I'll be going to that one on March 5th. But yeah, the game was awesome. But yeah, let's get into the subject at hand. So, as y'all know, there was an uproar on the Twitter space in HBCU land about Neely, who was formerly, he does the pregame show. Great channel, provided good content for Jackson State. And he followed Prime. He's gone with Prime. And HBCU Game Day has a good relationship with him. And so HBCU Game Day had him on their channel talking about, Jackson State and what's going on in Jackson State. And he said something about the media. Like, he said that it seems like Jackson State is trying to go out their way to not do what was done before as far as social media is concerned. Basically, people are speculating that he doesn't have the access like he once did. Like, I guess he wanted access for both programs. And maybe Jackson State decided to, no, we're not doing that. So I want to know what y'all think about that. JSU fans so sensitive. JSU media is lacking. Nobody knows when spring game is. No buzz around this team going back to dark ages. Now, from my understanding, Jackson State is trying to get their media stuff situated. They just got a new media director who's very good. He's very good at what he does, the editing and everything. And they have quality cameras. I think I seen on one picture he's using a C70, and that's a Netflix camera. Like, you can make a Netflix movie with that camera. So Jackson State definitely has the quality equipment that they need to do what they need to do. Hollywood, I guess you haven't been on Twitter. Live the spring game. Yeah, the spring game is on April 15th. They've been putting flyers up about the spring game. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying that the social media hasn't been visible, but I think they're trying to get all that worked out. What I always said I wanted Jackson State to do, I want them to have their own social media platforms, their own YouTube channel. They need to have a YouTube channel that says Jackson State football, where they're putting all their content on there. So even if somebody leaves the program or somebody leaves the school, whoever they can have working that social media platform, they can come right in. Another person come right in and take over. That content doesn't leave. The issue I had with the pregame show and Well Off Media, I mean, HBCUs built those platforms. Well, pretty much Jackson State. Jackson State fans built those platforms. And now those platforms are going to Colorado and they're pumping up those programs. And Jackson State is not able to monetize with those programs anymore, or able to get, the spotlight from those platforms anymore. Only JSU fans know when game is. Media director was at the JSU women game tonight. He's filming them because they won the regular season championship game. You coming to the game, Hollywood? But yeah, man, I feel like what Neely should have done was, I can't hate you for going with Coach Prime. I can't hate you for if Deion Sanders offered you a job that pays well, I can't blame you for taking the job. But you should have made your channel neutral and cover both programs. Or if you was going to only be able to cover Colorado, you should have came out and did a video explaining it to the people that pumped your platform up. And like I said, I like the pregame show. They did good work. But at the same time, you have to respect the fans that made your platform. Jackson State fans made your platform. So I can't be mad at them for feeling some type of way when you're using that platform that they built, pretty much, that they pumped you up, and you're using that platform to pump up Colorado, which you have your right to do, but you should just came out and talk to the people a little more. That's what I would have done. The pregame show was posting videos post-game. When is Alabama State spring game? But I'm going to open up the phone lines. I want y'all to call in so we can dialogue and talk about this. Give me one moment. Get the number up for y'all. All right. So the phone lines are open. Hold on. Do I have them open? Hold on. I don't even have them open, y'all. Hold on just a second. Give me just a second, y'all.
You are the only participant in the conference. The recording has started.
All right. So the phone lines are open. Y'all can call in and we can talk about this. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about regarding the SWAC. Hollywood, when is Ole Miss spring game? JSU should have been the first to sign Well Off Media to a media deal. Yeah, I mean, Well Off Media is pretty much Deion and his son's thing. So I understand, that's their platform. So I understand that. And they did good. They're doing well with what they're doing. But hold on just a second, y'all. We got a call coming in. Let's see who this is. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Courtney. I'm just
on,
calling in to say, I wish y'all get off Neely back.
Okay.
Why y'all hating on that man so much?
Who's hating?
You got to look at it from Neely's perspective.
Okay.
He has to do what's best for him. Whatever gives him the most views, he has to cover. He can do both, but he just got to spend more time covering prime time Deion Sanders, Lord and Savior, formerly JSU, more.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you feel for Jackson State fans when he's able to talk about the program in a negative light on the HBCU platform, but he's not doing nothing with his platform to pump up the HBCU in a positive light anymore? Can you be mad at them for
I
feeling
think
some
he
type of
did.
way about that?
No, I don't. I think he gave y'all a lot of publicity. Be grateful for what he did for that time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't nobody else covering JSU before that. What other channels? No, I can think of how many other SWAC buzzes is it?
I mean, it's not many, but
No,
I
you
mean,
got another guy. I don't want to say his name, but he is a hater. But I don't want to say who he is. He mainly come to hate.
What I think people are frustrated with is that the way he left. Like, you didn't tell nobody.
He didn't.
You didn't tell nobody. Come on now. You have. I know a lot of people like, well, it's his business. He don't have to do all this. Yes, you do. When you have people supporting your platform and pumping your platform up like that, sharing your videos, HBCU fans built the pregame show. Jackson State fans built their platform.
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Have you have never walked off a job before? I know I have. A lot of them.
Yeah,
without no notice.
I have.
I mean, lunch break and I'm out of there.
I have. People, like, what I'm saying is, people don't care that he went to Colorado. They just don't like that, the joking about, oh, I'm transferring here, I'm transferring there. That kind of stuff rubbed them the wrong way. What I would have done if I was Neely, what I would have done was I would have changed my logo and marketing material to a neutral color. I wouldn't have changed it to Colorado colors and all that. I would have changed it to a neutral color. I would have let the people. I would have made a video letting the people know, hey, I'm going to be covering both platforms. I'm going to be up here following Coach Prime, doing my thing with Colorado, and I'm going to showcase y'all too and post some of y'all videos on our platform too, so we can keep y'all in the spotlight. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
I would have made it known.
Yeah. The only thing I had a problem with how he left is he had he was with Deion to the press club, and he came back and he kept going back and forth. I didn't like that part. Like, he was at the press conference, he still going they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. Like, at the beginning, that's the only thing I had a problem with. Like, so I'm sure he had an inkling of idea what was about to happen.
Yeah. And I can't blame him, because when Coach Prime leave Colorado, because he's not gonna stay that long. I'm telling you, if he make them a respectable team, somebody gonna snatch him up. One of those bigger Power 5 schools gonna snatch him up, and he gonna go with Coach Prime there.
No. He ain't. No, like, for instance, like I'm from Alabama.
Yeah.
Like if he went, Nick Saban ain't gonna be at the University of Alabama forever, and I'm 100% sure. Like, if, for instance, if he got the job at Alabama, there's no outside media company doing anything like that at the University of Alabama or Auburn or Georgia or one of those big time universities, because they don't do it. Even at Texas Longhorn, they got their own network. There's no outside entity going in there doing anything, not unless they authorize, unless they gonna make some money off of it.
Right?
No, he can't. No, like, I don't think he do everything he doing is he profiting off of it. The university is not getting anything off of it.
But
it's all on him.
But I think Coach Prime has the ability to bring who he wants to bring. Like, so Coach Prime, when he went to Colorado, he asked for control over all football operations. That's why you can have Neely and all these other guys around there documenting, because he has full control. And I think if he went to a bigger Power 5 school, he's going to ask for that control there, so he can have his people in the house.
I don't think he would get it, because Colorado was in a desperate situation. They've been in the dumps for a long time. Like, Colorado been irrelevant for 25 years. A long time. No, like, you just can't go and dictate what you want at, like, for instance, Alabama or Georgia. You ain't telling those universities nothing, because it's Deuces has got.
I don't think
they can throw away the amount of money Deion got. They don't need him.
I don't think
for anything.
I don't think he would ever go to a Alabama or Georgia anyway. You know what school I think he might end up going to? Somewhere like either be Miami or Texas A&M. Well, not Texas A&M, but Miami. I believe Miami is the perfect school for Coach Prime. If he wants to be on a Power 5 level have that brand. If it's his brand and everything.
No, but you got to look at Miami, and Miami's facilities ain't that good. They don't have a big fan base. Like if you look at their games, the stands be completely almost empty. Like
that's why
Miami,
that's
why games be halfway full.
And that's why they would want Coach Prime. That's why they would get him in there. They have one of the biggest brands in college football. If you marry that with Coach Prime brand, it's going to explode. You're going to have that stadium, that Hard Rock Stadium, going to be packed with people, and they're going to be selling out. And then you know what they did back when Ray Lewis and all, you know, and Uncle Luke and all them was messing with Miami. You know how it was crazy then. It'll be a resurgence just like that. So I see him going to somewhere like that. But back on the Neely thing, I wish Neely the best. I like what he's doing. You know, he's a Kappa just like I am. So I'm always gonna root for the brothers. But at the same time, I think he could have just did it better with the way he left. And then
that me too. Cause I think he probably short-sighted because like it depends on where he goes. I mean, they might not allow it at another university. Like everybody's not gonna allow what's going on in Colorado.
Yeah, don't burn your bridges.
I mean, if you go somewhere in 2 years and they don't lie, then what? Is he gonna go crawl back to JSU when he'll probably burn some bridges?
Yeah. That's the thing about it. You can't burn bridges when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah,
right? Because you never know.
Unless you don't plan on coming back at all. Never.
He's an alumni, so he's an alumnus, so he's gonna want to come back. You know, so I think he could have just did it a little better. I would have made a video explaining to the fans what's going on. I probably would have changed my logo and everything to a neutral color. And when I'm on video and when I'm on interviews and stuff, I'm wearing the pregame show hoodies. I'm not wearing Colorado hoodies.
Yeah.
Because the optics of it just look funny. You know?
Yeah. Is he from Mississippi?
I think he is. I'm not totally sure. I think
yeah. See that? Yeah, if he's born and raised in Mississippi, that's different. That's a different animal. Yeah, I would move a little bit differently than you.
Yeah. But I appreciate the call. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Let me get to some of these comments. JSU has still some players who could help Colorado beat TCU in opening week. Would letting the pregame show snuggle up with players lead to more JSU transfers to Colorado. What you think, SWAC? But okay, when it comes to that, I find that troubling. If Coach Prime is still having to go to Jackson State to get players, that to me tells me that the recruits aren't really buying into Colorado just yet. They on a wait and see mode. Like we're gonna see how it is this year, and then if it pops off this year, then we'll commit. That would have seemed like to me. Keep your eyes on FAMU this year. Yeah, FAMU, they might can take it this year. They might can take it. If JSU is vulnerable, I could see them, getting in there. But I think Jackson State is still gonna be good this year. Neely caters to the other side. He was on ex-racist Miss Governor Haley Barber style. I don't know about all that. Well, I don't really know about his political views and stuff like that. It's crazy when people think he got a better job. But I think I would have liked to see them stay at Jackson State because, man, they were doing great work at Jackson State. And then I never would have thought they were going to go to Colorado. I thought he was going to go up there and post videos from Deion Sanders, but I didn't think that he was going to stay up there and just be on their staff, But I can't blame him for taking the job. He's able to work with a celebrity, Hall of Fame NFL player and, make money for his platform. So I can't really hate him for that. Here y'all go with the sour narratives. Mr. Juneteenth, call in. Tell us why our narratives are sour. I love when y'all come in and say stuff like that because I want y'all to call in. Let it be known. It was level playing field last year. Yep. Yeah, I want him to call in. Mr. Juneteenth, call in. Please do. 657-390-4814. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know, first show back. I've been away for a while, but you know, I'm back full effect now. I'm finna be dropping videos and stuff now. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Where is Mr. Floyd? Why can't Neely be happy for JSU? I think he is happy, but I think that him not having access like he used to have probably took him by surprise. He probably wasn't expecting, you know, the new regime to be on that kind of stuff. You know, that's what I believe. Swag Buzz, is he a alum or not? We got a call coming in. Hold on. Let's see who this is. What's going on, Call You Live? Talk to me.
Hey, what up, sir? It's Jerome from Charlotte.
What's going on, Jerome?
Hey, all is well, man. Glad to see you back, man.
I appreciate it.
So, yeah, just you know, an observation, man. This whole situation reminded me of kind of like some country wisdom, man. You know, old folks used to tell me, "Don't burn the bridge that carried you over."
Yep.
And the thing is, man, when it's not even, as you mentioned, it's not even a matter of how he left. The entire situation was quite in their favor, because you got to remember, Jackson State didn't own any of that content.
Yeah.
And in this space, we're talking a lot about media rights, and we see the ACC, they're, you know, Florida State's trying to, you know, renegotiate contracts, you know, for television deals. So we're becoming more privy with the importance of owning our own content. But we allowed Neely and, of course, the pregame show, as well as, you know, Coach Prom's entire staff, his son, to control all that content. And when they left, we had nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
And that content is still monetized, making money, generate money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was a gift. You know, just the amount of services that we provided, not only the pregame show, but Coach Prom and et cetera, it was a big deal for them. But my thing is, man, you can't go to Colorado and you're trying to give the HBCU Game Day JSU updates. You're not even affiliated with the program anymore. And you're sitting there wearing all this Colorado gear, and you got the background showing Colorado. Like, the optics of that itself, it looks horrible.
Yeah.
But in a way, man, it seems like he's a bit entitled. But here's the thing, man, you can't, you know, I don't know if you remember, man, our parents' generation, they'd be like, you know, you either in or out. You can't keep coming in and out this house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is, man. So I applaud Jackson State for really moving forward. To me, it's okay for Jackson State to say, you know what, you guys made your decision. We wish you well, but we're gonna move in a different direction. And from what I'm seeing, you know, the new digital guy that Jackson State brought in, he seems to, you know, have a lot of experience, and I'm looking forward to seeing his content. But when you ditch somebody like that, you can't expect. It's kind of like, you know, you broke up with in a relationship or a marriage, you know, and you left that marriage for another woman. And then when things don't work out, you know, you're trying to come back and holler at your girl, come wash her clothes at her crib and eat some dinner. It don't work like that. And in my personal opinion, man, Neely needs to be careful, man, because I honestly feel like Prime is setting him up for the okie doke. And the reason why I say that is because you're looking at Deion Jr.'s content. He's got way more engagement than Neely does. And, you know, with Shador, he's got a YouTube page, and some of those other star athletes, they got one now. In actuality, when you're looking at the content Neely's been putting out compared to Deion Jr., it is not even on the same wavelength. And I honestly feel like before we know it, he's going to get the boot. And I feel like he knows this. And that's why he's, you know, kind of trying so hard. And, you know, you see him back at the basketball games. He's trying to get back into good graces. He knows he's not going to be at Colorado too long because, you know, Deion Jr. is pretty much, you know, he's got them to wrap. So I'm not going to say I feel sorry for him. You know, he is a Jacksonian like myself, like all of us. But, man, you can't burn bridges that brought you over. And especially my own alma mater, man. Like, it's just dirty. Like, have that brother, you know what I'm saying? But, like, you know what? I'm going to let Charles Bishop keep the pregame show. He can continue to cover. and I'm gonna go ahead over here in Colorado, and I'm gonna start a new podcast called, you know, the Big Buffalo, just whatever. You know what I'm saying? That'd have been more amicable.
Yeah.
So I just feel like he's burned too many bridges, man.
What would you have done if you were him? Like, other than start another podcast, like, how would you have handled leaving Jackson State?
So the way that I would have left, I would not have gone with Prime to the original press conference. I would have finished the race. I would have finished my job in Jackson State, meaning I would have continued to cover the team after the SWAC championship, kind of got some interviews with some players, and their preparation for the Celebration Bowl. Also, you know, even after Prime, you know, made the announcement, it was almost as if, man, he of course, we know he has a great relationship with Coach Prime, but it's kind of like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, because the way Prime was moving, it was kind of like, it was really weird, man. Like it was almost to the point where Neely really didn't have any choice but to move the same way Prime was moving. And I feel like all those brothers are kind of like under Prime's thumb. So if Neely had handled the situation a little bit differently than what Prime was doing heading into the Celebration Bowl, Prime would probably told him, "Nah, you can stay in Jackson." But, you know, for me, because it's the I love, you know, I'm putting Jackson State first. In my personal opinion, I feel like he had a bigger platform at Jackson State. He had more access to actual culture that people actually want to delve into. But if you look at the views and you look at the engagement, like his stuff is really falling off. You know, and I feel like it's largely in part due to Deion Jr. really ramping up his content. But I wish the brother won.
I don't feel like a black platform can be successful at covering Colorado. And the reason why I say that is because they'll let Deion Sanders Jr. platform pop off. But if you just, you're not, because he's a celebrity, he's a public figure, pretty much. Right. So they'll let his platform pop off. But I don't think if you're a black guy and you not have no ties to Colorado and you just start making videos and stuff like that, I don't think though the fan base for Colorado is gonna really support your channel like that. I don't believe they will, because at the end of the day, they're not gonna give money to an outsider, you know.
Not at all. And I mean, you can tell. I mean, as Dr. Taville put in the chat just now, you know, the pregame show was not paid by Jackson State, and that's true. But, you know, they were clearly getting a form of revenue, in my opinion, in a large way, due to the amount of engagement that they were receiving, you know, from social media, especially YouTube. Right. But to your point, I definitely agree, man. Like that audience, and let's look at the optics. Like, to your point, Colorado is not like any other PWI. Like, we can't compare it to like a UNC Chapel Hill or Southern California or Miami. You know, this is like a pretty conservative, lily white institution in a lily white town. Right. And for everything that they've been trying to do, you know, to spice up the culture and to add some seasoning, I feel like in the virtual space, a lot of people are like, oh, that's pretty cool. But the folks that are there in that city, they're not down with that. You know what I'm saying? That they have a very kind of conservative, you know, vibe at the school. They're not buying into that. I feel like
if they don't win, it's gonna be a problem. As long as they winning, they'll accept it. They'll accept it as long as they're winning. But if those losses start piling up, then that's when you're gonna start seeing, hey, we need to stop doing this and letting it be, you know, they're gonna start complaining. You're gonna see the complaints then. But they'll let it rock right now because they getting all this publicity. They got Coach Prime there, you know. So if he wins, he can do whatever he wants. They ain't gonna care about it.
I totally agree. I feel like somebody said Deion Jr. has tons of followers. Nobody watching them. Exactly. Nobody's watching Neely, man. Like, I feel like once Deion Jr. saw kind of what Neely had done, it was able to, you know, do with the pregame show. And of course, with the exodus of, it was a white guy who was a Barstool. I don't know if you remember him. He was basically running the social media, and he left. And I would love to find out why he left, because he kind of put like a cryptic message on Twitter a while back. about Coach Prime. But anyway, I totally agree, man. Like, his numbers have gone down, and I think Neely sees the writing on the wall, and I think he's, as old folks say, throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. And he knows he doesn't have really any other option but to come back to Jackson. I feel like he knows he's on his way out because really he serves no purpose anymore. Initially he was that inside go-to guy. He added some, kind of seasoning, but once Deion's son took over, it was pretty much a wrap.
And nobody's gonna have the access Deion's son is gonna have. Like he has that market. Like nobody's gonna be able to make Deion Sanders content like Deion Sanders Jr. Like he has that market cornered pretty much. So he don't really need him anymore. He don't really need Neely anymore. He probably keeping him around because Coach Prime. One thing about Coach Prime, y'all can complain all you want. He do look out for the people that he like. The people that he like and he make a relationship with, he look out for them. So he'll probably keep him around. He probably give him another job if anything else. He'll give him something to do.
Now, I'm going to say this. I feel like all of this, though, has done nothing but shown the power, not just of Jackson State, but of HBCUs and the desire and demand for consistent content.
Yeah,
I will give them that. I can definitely say that his regime, and let's not get it twisted, Jackson State social media was already kind of like number one among HBCUs for several years.
Yeah.
Before Coach Prime came, we had SWAC situation and a whole bunch of other really, high profile events that happened. But what Coach Prime did, he shined the light on how you can really amp up that social media presence, and it can translate to additional fundraising, recruitment, etc.
What would you like to see them do differently?
Jackson State or Coach Prime?
Well, Jackson State. Like, what would you like to see Jackson State implement that they wasn't doing before?
So I don't want us to mimic Coach Prime's model because here's the thing. TC Taylor is his own guy. I don't feel like he has that type of he has a totally different personality than Coach Prime. He's not trying.
I slightly disagree with that though. I think TC Taylor got some swag about him. He can sell a video. I think he can do it.
He does, but here's the thing. Coach Prime, we got to remember, he comes from a very much so reality TV background, and he's used to, and he kind of demands TV, like whether it's like I guess a cell phone camera or a professional camera around at all times. He always mentions that because his life for the better part of the last 10, 15 years has been a reality show. So I don't think any other HBCU coach, particularly at Jackson State, is going to want that type of consistent, demand per se. But I would like to see Jackson State kind of ramp up telling our story. I think the 1400 Club, they did a great job of a video they put out in the spring of 21.
Oh, yeah, they're doing awesome work. Awesome work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think Jackson State and all HBCUs, man, because we're clearly under attack. I don't know if you saw the article that came out today about the white student at Howard University's law school.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
that. Suing the school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to do a better job of gatekeeping, number one, but we need to do a better job of telling our story because we have a phenomenal story. And I feel like as a collective, let's say if it's all the presidents of the National Alumni Associations, let's say we get about 10 or 15 of us together and we form a collective or some type of consortium. And I feel like the gatekeeping can start there, but collectively we can come together to tell our story on a bigger platform.
Right.
And what do I mean by that story? Of course, our athletic prowess, our tradition, STEM. There's so many different factors that are not being told that I feel like will continue to propel this kind of HBCU renaissance that we've experienced, man. But to me, it doesn't take a lot. It just takes some competent people at the table who are willing to do the work.
I agree. What I would like to see Jackson State do differently as far as I still think that TC Taylor can do the videos where he's telling the people to come out to the games and stuff like that. Coach O has a big personality. and he has swag about him.
Yeah.
So I would like to see them both in tandem making videos and stuff like that and bringing attention to the program. So I think they have the personality for it. They don't have to be as flamboyant as Coach Prime was, but definitely engage with the fans. You know, Coach O was already telling people to come to the game and stuff like that. Keep him doing that, you know what I'm saying, so he can boost his popularity. And I think they could do a good job on the social media front, even when Coach Prime is gone, because they got the brand. You got the brand, you got the personalities. They can still keep that train rolling.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, like one thing that Prime did when he went to Colorado that kind of pissed some people off, but it was inadvertently telling you how great we are as an HBCU community. You know, for him to kind of highlight, I forgot what black restaurant that was that he brought from Jackson up there to Colorado.
Johnny T.
Yeah, Johnny T's, and you know, to see Deion Jr. bring in a DJ into the cafeteria. I mean, that whole situation was an epic fail in my opinion, but you know, that they were taking bits and pieces of the black culture and the HBCU culture in Jackson and taking it to Colorado and putting it on brand display. And everybody was like, oh, this is so breaking news and this is so revolutionary. Nah, we've been doing this the last 60, 70 years. But we've done a poor job of telling our story with respect to actually highlighting these Jackson staples and the culture that you find within Jackson State's campus that is very appealing to the masses. So I feel like Prime, he did a great job of identifying, I'm not going to say he's a culture vulture, but he did a great job of identifying all of these key aspects of Jackson State's culture and Jackson's community and took that with him to Colorado. It seems like he's trying to duplicate it, you know, but and clearly we know that's not going to be the case. But that's just another example of things that we need to do as far as, you know, showcasing that, but also consistently telling our story.
Well, he also has to be careful with, you know, with that too, because you don't want to be seen as someone that's enabling culture vulture, you know, being a culture vulture. People jacking the HBCU style, but you'll jack the HBCU style, but you won't get the HBCUs the exposure. You know, it'll just the optics of it look bad. So he has to be careful with that, not to do too much to try to change their culture. Go ahead.
But see, that's the thing. It already looks bad. A lot of people are already feeling as though he and some others were kind of like agents, you know, and they pretty much what they're doing. It definitely falls in the classification of being a culture vulture. But here's another caveat, you know, with his recent comments about, I guess, his preferred type of student athlete and them coming from certain types of backgrounds, you know, as opposed to being a single family home and certain GPAs. You know, I look at certain quarterbacks like Warren Moon and Steve McNair and what's my guy from Texas, Vince Young. You know, there's so many. And hell, let's look at Shador Sanders and Shiloh Sanders. They come from a broken home as well. So it's like a lot of the things that Prime and his camp, like Neely, continue to say. And that's why I'm glad Jackson State folks, we've just been sitting back. We moved on, but we still just kind of like, you know, mum is the word. The more they talk, man, it's like, as the young people say, nah, let them cook. And they're definitely cooking, man, because I'm looking at a lot of comments from folks who don't have any HBCU affiliation, and they've been riding with Prime in his camp, even after he left, really defending them. But lately, the last couple of weeks, they're like, nah, I don't like the way this brother moves. And now they're kind of seeing what a lot of folks have been saying, man. If you let these folks continue to talk, man, they'll show you who they are. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of cats that's been following Prime and whatnot the last 20, 30 years, they like, none of this should be shocking. Yep. He's always been like...
Caller 813, I'm going to get to you in just a second. But I want to say one thing before I let you go. When it came to that comment, I think the dangerous thing about that was you're giving a green light for people to make light of trauma. Growing up broke, poor, in a single family home that's a traumatic experience, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because you're not growing up like most people. So that's nothing to make light of. And so you can't make it, the optics of just look bad. You got white people
Yep.
laughing at, trauma like that. So
Yep.
I think he has to be careful with that when he's making jokes like that, because you don't want to give a green light to these people to start doing stuff like that on TV out in the open. It'll just look horrible.
Prime know what he's doing, man. Like, he's, in my personal opinion, he's basically stating he's like a mouthpiece for a lot of other coaches. That, because if you remember when he was in the SWAC, he would say things about administrations, etc., finances, and he would often say, I'm saying what some of these other HBCU and SWAC coaches can't say. They
Right.
coming to me and they telling me this, and they're too afraid to say it. But they come to me to actually relay the message. In my opinion, man, he's doing the same thing now on the Power 5 level. There's a lot of other white coaches on the Power 5 level that have always had that philosophy, but now they're coming to him to actually say it. Prime is nothing more, in my opinion, man. He's a puppet. And he's definitely doing some cooning. Like, as you mentioned, laughing and whatnot, making these type of comments and hearing these white people laugh in the background is very cringy. But as a lot of folks said, who followed Prime, in his career the last whatever years, none of this should be surprising, because he's made some interesting comments about Kaepernick, and, he's been kind of on the conservative side. So we just kind of seeing the real Prime, man. But that's all I got. I appreciate you, man.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's get this next person on here. What's going on, Call You Live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, SWAC Buzz? Hey, check this out, man. I wanted to comment about some of the what Deion says about the parents and two parents home.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just take you behind the curtain, man. I've been coaching now for about 12 years at the high school level down here in South Florida. What Prime was saying is what black coaches, both on the college and high school levels, been thinking for years. And I can tell you that many times when black college scouts come in, they want to know, is this kid is in a single parent family? Is he in a impoverished environment? Because he wants to get the kid that is so hungry sometimes, or in such a desperate situation, that he feels that this kid has no other choice. So he's not saying something that's giving white folks to something that, or they say, no, white coaches believe it too. And I can tell you what effect, it's almost like a wolf licking his lips to see that you got this single black mother with this child who is just happy to see somebody coming in, and they know that they can get over. So many times, some of the kids that we were allowed to be recruited, we tried to make sure that we were there, to make sure that this coach that comes into the home telling the mother all these different things about, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but not being held accountable by a man who can ask other certain questions that just didn't go sometimes. But I can tell you, he's not saying something that's just, behind the curtain. This is something that's always been looked at. And coaches, they feast on that.
But does that make it right, though? That doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make it right, but
yeah.
But we should be made aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
that we are in a situation that, yes, we are being exploited.
Yeah.
You are being exploited. So when you don't have men there to be able to, when a coach comes in and shake the hands, or that coach feels that he can wine and dine and say certain things to this black woman that's so happy about it, he can tell her anything, right? And sometimes men, we can see through other men and know what's going on. But, this is nothing new, man. This is nothing new. And like I said, don't think that it's black coaches now that do that. I've heard a head coach tell other college coaches, "Oh no, you don't want his daddy, and they kind of protective of him, and these kind of different things. So no, you don't want that. You don't want that. Come on, let me turn you on to somebody else." So I'm telling you, man, that happens. And like I said, we do some of that stuff to ourselves. So Deion ain't saying something that we haven't been doing that for years. And I'm gonna tell you also, the same Power Fives, they get a lot of assistant black coaches to send them into areas that they know they can recruit. Way back in the day when you had these kids going to Colorado, coming out of certain LA neighborhoods, they were getting black head coaches to go in there to get those Crip kids that could go to Colorado. You couldn't go in there from Nebraska and get a Crip kid because he wasn't going to be wearing those colors. So you had black coaches to go in there and get them. So all those kind of different things, we sometimes do the same kind of stuff to ourselves. So what Deion is saying is something that's not, not heard of.
But you know what?
We do that. We
you know what? It might be good that he said it because now black parents are aware of them being targeted from their, their economic situations. If you're
Right.
if you're broke and you're impoverished and you're black and you're a single parent, these coaches are going to be coming after your child, and so you need to make sure that they're on the up and up in what they're saying, and that they're going to follow through on everything that they're saying, and not trying to just run game on you.
Right, and one last thing too, as a community, then we also have to make sure that we don't continue to push this foolish narrative that the only way you're going to make it out of here is that you're going to be able to run a football or shoot a basketball. We used to have this stupid saying about the only way out is that we got a wicked jump shot or we go sling rocks, right? So we put our own self into this foolish narrative that the only way this young man going to be able to be successful is that he got to run a football or shoot a basketball. And they buy into it. So when we see it now, I don't know, you saw this guy. He was a Dallas Cowboy football player, and he's out of the league now, but he's just talking about how he can't walk, how he's only played for maybe, I think it's Byron Jones or something like that. He's only played for like 3 or 4 years. But he's telling guys, man, please don't buy into this narrative, because even though I have money, I got a horrible life that I'm living now for the rest of my life because I'm broken up. I can't run. I can't lift my arms over my head. But so many kids are just caught into this point. I'm going to just play football and I'm going to ram my head into somebody else and I'm going to be on TV and who getting paid for it.
Right.
So
I appreciate
we
the call.
do this stuff to ourselves, man.
Yeah, I appreciate the call. I got other callers. Let me get them on. All right. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, I got All right.
All right, let me get this person. Mr. Ford, I'm going to get to you in just a moment. What's going on? Call you live. Talk to me.
What's going on, Sway boy? Thank you for taking my call, man. And I appreciate you, man, for continuing the legacy, man, of this media to covering HBCUs, man. You're doing a great job. You and Mr. Ford and Kobe and them. I thank you, man. But I wanted to say, man, to chime in, I think that was Kobe that was calling in up on with Deion Sanders and everything. Man, I always thought this. When Deion, as much as greatest things he has done, it's best of both worlds. I mean, it's just like, honestly, in a lot of us understand it's just like a spouse that we have. They have good traits and they got bad traits. And you got to take both of them and just what can you live with. And so the thing about it with Deion, man, it's just like, as much as he did great and for the conference and HBCUs, you have things of what is going on now because, again, he is not alumnus. And certain things, how we learn, I guess, with certain things, we like keep your mouth closed and keep stuff discreet. He does not know that. And also to the fact of where, also, too, some of the stuff going to look demonized that he does as well is because him being black and him being the media person that he is. Because, like, the previous caller said, nothing that he is doing, nothing that he is saying is not even exposing anything. Because, like I said, they all done it. Even like his coach years ago when Bobby Bowden was on the interview, which is kind of what Deion always said. He always try to take his coaching perspective from his previous coaches. Bobby Bowden used to say that a lot of his players used to go in those single family homes and stuff, single parent homes, and how the guys used to dress, and they would have 2 earrings and their hair curls in their hair, look like their mama, because that's the mom was the mother and the father. And he was making jokes about that in the interview. And so, he's like, they sweet old mama. Basically, the guy, that's all he sees. And so basically he tries to look like the person who raised him. and you know, that concept. And so a lot of things, you know, Deion does. He's just another voice of what these are. You know, like I say, these other white coaches or PWIs were afraid to say, or they won't say. You even had one coach, what's his name? He was the Arizona coach that just got fired. He even does it. He said he used his own look for not Herm Edwards, the one that was for the Arizona Cardinals. When he was
you talking about that? I thought you were talking about Arizona State.
Right. He was even using his concept where he was using his attraction to appeal to the women because they was from a single parent home or they was single, and he was using his attraction to get the child to come to the team to play. So, you know, it's different concepts. They just, like I say, with Deion, you got both, best of both worlds with that. And like I said, another thing I remember you were saying, what Neely could have done, what I felt like Neely could have done. It's kind of like what the college said was like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But honestly, the only thing that I think he could have done, he could have made it, and he could have basically transitioned to or four. Either way, if he would have added to his media team, and this is the way he could have done it. He could have got some JSU students, undergrad, and added them to the team to cover Jackson State while they were still there. And then basically he just saying he could have said it as a platform to say, hey, I'm going to give them an opportunity to show and highlight excellence at this school, and basically how great would it be for people of your own to film your own as I go in other endeavors and step out the way for them to shine. He could have put it just like that. And then when he came to Colorado and seen what you say?
Well, I was gonna say, let me tell y'all a little something about this YouTube thing. You know those channels with millions and millions of subscribers? You can set up managers on your YouTube channel that they can have certain privileges and stuff like that. So he could have hired people that had access to his channel, didn't have the money side of it, but they have the ability to upload to his channel. He could have had people down at Jackson State making content and uploading it to the pregame show, and he didn't even have to be down there.
Absolutely.
So YouTube already had this stuff in place for you to run this thing like a corporation, like a business. Those channels with those millions of subscribers and stuff like that, that's just not one person just running that channel. It's multiple people. They run that thing like a business. Multiple people running those things.
Right, in which he exposed himself by not doing this, seeming that he got caught in the light. And so now he basically got to go from day one, scratch one, and try to do it all over, or basically like, you know, had to crawl back with his tail under him and figure out how to beg and plead to get back into the good graces. Because like I said, he could have did that easy transition. If it didn't work out in Colorado, he can step back and just say, hey, we're doing different platforms. Just because again, that day-to-day coverage that he was doing, it was amazing. And too, they like I say, as great as Deion Jr. want to get credit with certain things, he wasn't even on his feet yet. And the pregame show was highlighting and had more subscribers at one point in time and was getting better footage at that time. So he helped his platform. And that's another thing that I will give Coach Prime credit. Even though he's in Colorado and he's still doing these interviews, he still always said, there will be nothing that I have right now if it wasn't for Jackson State. And I appreciate him doing it because like I said, him not kidding. And a lot of these people, it's funny how they want to work with him now since he has left HBCU, which is I'm putting it in quotation. We know why. But it's just funny. But I appreciate him doing it. But thank you for taking my call, SWAC, and I appreciate everything you're doing.
All right, thank you for the call. What's going on? Call you live. Talk to me.
Hey, this is Mr. Ford. Hold on. Let me turn this stuff down. Hold on.
What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, man. I've been missing you, man.
I know, man. I know.
Right?
Yeah, I've been good. I had a little vacation. Took a little vacation.
Okay, yeah. You been on vacation?
Yeah, so I'm back.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of good stuff going on in the SWAC, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for everything to start back.
I really don't want to talk about Deion or me because to me, they gone.
Yeah.
And let them stay where they at. The reason they doing all this back and forth is because they missing Jackson. They missing Jackson State. They missing Jackson, Mississippi, and they missing the SWAC. That's why they're doing all this back and forth. Because, see, they done went up there to Boulder, and the school administrator and the athletic administrator done let them know, yeah, you the head football coach, but you still a ninja in our belief system and whatever. But anyway, I wanted to, celebrate the fact that Alabama State swept the girls and boys indoor track and field. I think that coach's name, Coach Richie Bean. He won both the
Miss Ford.
women's.
Miss Ford. Let me get this call on real quick. You'll hold on for me, then I'm gonna let you get your stuff. Hold on.
Okay.
What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, SWAC, bro. It's been a long time since I called you.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're gonna have to turn the stream off in the background though, because you're gonna be responding to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
I'm cutting it off now. Hey, look here. This is what I want to say. First, I want to say, y'all primates and y'all DDRs, y'all really need to stop it. Didn't Deion say that he go and get the quarterbacks to come from a two-parent home?
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Okay, then his son is not from a two-parent home. DL85 wanted to say, said it in the comments. Well, he was 11 when they broke up. Hell, you don't get recruited when you're 11 years old at no damn college. He said he recruits people that's from a two-parent home. So that's a contradiction. Now this is what I want to say, because there's a lot of DDRs in here and primates in here. When they don't win no more than 3 games in the next 2 years, I want to hear that same energy. That same energy. I want you to come on this show and all the other shows you come on with that same energy, with that same damn energy. When Shadua throw 10 to 15 interceptions this year and just be a mediocre quarterback, I want you to come on here with that same damn energy. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, thank you. Well, you had to get it off his chest.
Oh, yeah.
Well, go ahead, Mr. Ford. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, listen. A lot of people are not going to like this, but let me say this to you. Deion is a habitual liar, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is who believes the lie. In other words, he has to control the narrative, whether it's true or untrue. But the thing that he does is that he tells the lie, but he's looking to see how many people believe the lie. That's what's important to him. It's the narrative. They want to control the minds of people. And so that's why I say I'm not paying attention. Let them people stay up there in Boulder. My mind is on the SWAC and what's going on good at these schools. That's what I'm thinking about.
And we got a good
people
product
up there at Boulder. The reason they keep talking about the SWAC and Jackson, Mississippi, and Jackson State is because they missing it. That's what it is. They missing it.
Good lawyer. Shout out to the good lawyer for the donation to the channel. Appreciate that. Appreciate you for donating, contributing to the channel. Mr. Ford, so what do you think Neely should have done? Like, if you were in Neely's shoes, what would you have done?
He made his choice. He went to Boulder. Then stay in Boulder. We don't want to hit and stop coming down to Jackson trying to take them players back up there. Stay in Boulder. He made a decision to go with Deion. That's fine. Stay up there with Deion. And y'all do Pac-12 stuff and that, but Lee, stop. Every time I look up, I got something to say about the SWAC. Ain't nothing but they missing the SWAC. What it is, they not getting the love that they had in Jackson, up in Boulder, and now that's why every time you look up, they missing Jackson. Jackson's on their mind, so that's every time you hear them, they talking about Jackson. We ain't talking about Boulder. Just stay up there and let us have this. Because, listen, they gone, and guess what? The good times still rolling at Jackson State, and the SWAC, yeah? Mm-hmm. The good times are rolling.
So a lot of people are mad at HBCU Game Day for having him on. Do you think that's fair? I feel like, and you have people saying they unsubscribe from HBCU Game Day and stuff like that. Now, I would say this: HBCU Game Day has been covering HBCUs for years when it wasn't popular.
Yeah, them guys. Yeah,
when it wasn't popular, when they wasn't making no money.
Yeah.
A lot of their videos ain't making no money now, and they still take the time to cover HBCUs. So I would say this to people: don't give up on someone for one bad mistake or one bad post that you didn't like, because we need platforms like HBCU Game Day, because a lot of people wouldn't have over 50,000 subscribers and still be making content that's only getting 200 views or 100 views or something like that. They are making content about HBCUs that people are not really checking for, but they still losing their platform to get those people to get those schools a spotlight. So I have to tip my hat to them for that. And I'm willing to.
That's Gaither and was it Tyler Carr and it's another guy with them, right? I know Vaughn. Isn't it Vaughn? The guy from FAMU. What's his name?
I don't know his name. I know it's Ty Lee and Jay Gaither. I met Gaither before. I met him at the Celebration Bowl. He's a good guy, man.
Isn't it a
good
guy named Vaughn? He was a punter for FAMU. What's his name? Vaughn what? Vaughn Wilson.
I'm not sure.
He does something for him too. Yeah, you're right. They've been on the grind for a long time.
Yeah.
They are basically CIAA. I think Tolly and Stephen Gaither are both Winston-Salem graduates.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they're also heavy in the MEAC because they've always covered A&T. They've covered Central. They really was headquartered at one time out of the Carolinas, especially North Carolina.
Yeah, I respect them because, like I said, they've been doing it for a long time. They were doing it before Prime came. They got a boom when Prime came. Like everybody got a boom when he was here, but they consistently kept putting out content about HBCU. So, I give them a pass for that. I know a lot of people are mad at them about having Neely on. And I think what it is now, people are it's still early, it's still fresh. Deion leaving is still fresh on people's minds, so they still feel some kind of way. Also, like, people got mad at me. I posted Shadur. Shadur won the Black College Player of the Year award.
Oh yeah, the Deacon Jones Award.
And I posted it, and you had people mad at that.
I saw it.
Yeah, people mad at that, and I'm like, he won the award as a Jackson State.
I thought he was a deserving recipient.
Yeah, so
I thought he deserved it.
Yeah, so I think it's still fresh on people's mind, and I think once Shadur goes into the NFL and if he plays well and become famous in the NFL, I think people will reflect on what he did at HBCUs, and then they will be, they will be okay with the accolades that he get, because they were saying that he's not eligible for the Black College Football Hall of Fame, but if the committee deems him as somebody that's notable in the HBCUs, he can be inducted into the Black College Football Hall of Fame, even though he went to Colorado.
Hey, this guy right here, EA, thank you. That's right. His name is Vaughn Wilson. That's him. That's that guy. He does some things with them too. That's right. Yeah. Thank you for that, EA.
DJ 85 DJ 85, why you in the comments line? I did not block you for talking about talk to him. I'm tired of him talking about Colorado. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all ain't gonna be able to we not gonna be able to get away from the Colorado thing until after the first 5 or 6 games, because people are still gonna talk about it up until then. Because y'all have to understand, Coach Prime wasn't a regular person. These were celebrities at HBCU. So it's pretty much celebrity gossip now. That's what it is basically right now. It's celebrity gossip. So people are still going to talk about it, even though they're going on to Colorado. It's celebrity gossip, and people engage with it. So people are still going to talk about it. Now, if they start losing, then you're going to see people ain't really going to be talking about it anymore.
Yeah, because I think that TC's going to do better. I think TC's going to do well in the SWAC, and I think TC's going to win that Celebration Bowl. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that Jackson's going to go. I think that the program's going to go to another level. I think they're going to go to another level than where it was with Prime. I'm going to be honest with you.
If TC Taylor wins the Celebration Bowl, that's going to be big.
TC.
If he does that, that's going to be big.
I think he's going to win the Celebration Bowl several times, to be honest with you.
If he does
now,
that,
according to the FAMU people, this is their year. They saying this is their year. Yeah, all of them up here in Atlanta. I done told y'all, these folk up here say, these FAMU people say, this is their year, baby. They gonna do it.
Oh yeah, that FAMU versus Jackson State game is definitely going to be That's gonna tell.
Once again, baby, that will determine the SWAC. That will determine this, and like you said, that will determine who comes in for that Celebration Bowl.
Who said, hold on, I'm reading these comments. Hey, y'all, the phone lines are open, 657-390-4814. Y'all want to call and get y'all opinions on the topics that we talked about tonight. Phone lines are open, 657-390-4814. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm going to unblock you, DJ85. I'm going to unblock you, man. TC already out-recruited him this year.
Oh, man, I think I done read 2 publications. TC was number 1. In the white publication, he was number 2, and 2 of the black publications, he was number 1.
I think people sleeping on Grambling. I think Grambling's going to be really good. I think people are sleeping on Grambling.
I got to see. I'm so disappointed in Grambling last year. But my greatest disappointment is Southern University. I'm so mad with Dooley. I was so happy when Dooley got that job, but at the same time, I'm mad with Dooley. Dooley got to do better than what they doing, man.
Right.
I just thought that Southern was ridiculous last year, man. And then you sit that boy on the bench the whole year, and then you wouldn't even look at him, and then he comes in the SWAC championship game, and puts on a show, and I'm just thinking, what could the whole year been with Bubba as the starting quarterback? So I'm kind of mad with my Louisiana schools right now. Someone
asked, what do you think of FAMU? Think about FAMU? Yeah, I think they're going to be
good. FAMU saying this is their year, man. I work with several FAMU people at the school I work at, and I've been asking them, what's the talk in Tallahassee? That's what they say about it. Everybody's in the whole SWAC is looking forward to spring football. But they feel down in Tallahassee, this is their year. So I'm waiting to see it.
They did some good recruiting too.
Yeah, I think they were right up under Jackson. Jackson was number 1. Jackson's a clear-cut consensus number 1 in recruiting all across the country as far as FCS and black and HBCU football. But FAM feels like they did a pretty good job, and they filled in that need. But like I said, man, it's just, we got to see, because I'm looking forward to hearing, about the spring training, just like I am with Jackson and, like you said, Grambling and Southern and everybody else. Because once again, I'm going to be honest with you, last season to me, I enjoyed last season, but guys, guess what? 23 is going to be better than 22.
Someone asked, who are your top 3? I would say mine is Jackson State, number 1.
Yeah.
FAMU number 2.
FAMU 2.
And then I might have to put Alabama State at 3, because I think Alabama State.
Blue is saying that they went and got a guy. The school is called Pike County in Alabama. He had won the state championship at least twice. Well, he's now on the Alabama State staff. He's the quarterback coach. And if he can get that kid right and help, get that system right, like I told people, Alabama State is a sleeping giant. They are a sleeping giant. Their defense is solid, but their problem is offensive. And it's been that way for a number of years. They wake up that offense at Alabama State. Hey, man,
I didn't hear.
There's gonna be some noise in that East.
I didn't get a chance to hear your opinion on this. What do you think about Auburn Miller getting snubbed from the NFL Combine? What do you think about that?
No, he did. Listen, everybody saw him at Mobile. He did very well at Mobile. They know. Yeah. I'm of the belief he will get drafted.
I know he's gonna get drafted, but I think he should have went to the Combine too, though.
But now, see, long as if you go to the Senior Bowl, you actually don't have to go to the Combine, because all of the GMs, all of the scouts, everybody is in Mobile. Once you show them people what you can do in Mobile, you good.
Mm-hmm.
You good. To me, Mobile is bigger than the Combine.
I think he's gonna be the first one off the board.
The really smart thing was that last week, that Black College, that Legacy Bowl that they had in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope we can keep that. Because what that did right there, that opened the door for a lot of kids to go NFL, CFL, XFL, USFL.
Right.
That having it that week, because a lot of eyes was on New Orleans this weekend with that Black College Legacy Bowl, you wouldn't believe the number of people that watched that game. A lot of people watched that game.
And
they picked the right weekend.
And I went to an XFL game last weekend. I think it was last weekend. That's the most fun I've ever had at a sporting event. Like it was outside of HBCUs, but like it was fun. Like the crowd, the fans, the game was good. These people were drunk. I mean, they were selling club drinks in the stadium. Like these people were literally drunk in the stadium. They make this thing called a beer snake up in the DC stadium, where they go around the stadium getting everybody's cups, and they make this little long snake from the bottom to the top of the stadium. It's like a long snake of cups, pretty much. But yeah, it was fun.
So now,
we had a great time.
Teams, who played? Who were the teams that played?
It was the DC Defenders and the
that's right.
The Seattle Sea Dragons. That's what they call.
Now, who is your head coach at DC?
Oh, who is that guy?
Is that Terrell Buckley?
I can't remember who the head coach is.
Because I watched the game, and he was the head coach. It was Terrell Buckley that played at Florida State and was in the NFL.
I can't remember who the head coach for DC is. I know Wade Phillips is one. He's You're right. Wade he's a Houston coach. Okay. Yeah, but I had a good time. I'm actually going to the game on the 5th. They played the St. Louis Battlehawks on the 5th, and I'm going to that game, and both of them are undefeated. Well, this weekend. Yeah, this weekend.
But what I'm going to do, I'm going to look up there. I want to see who's on the coaching staff, because I did see something about Wade. Now, let me just tell you something now. Wade is one of the premier defensive minds in this country, even though he's semi-retired. That man knows some defense now.
Yeah.
Wade Phillips knows some defense. And if he can help them kids, he'll help them get into the league. Wade knows some stuff now.
Someone asked who won the game. The DC Defenders won the game at the last minute. I think Seattle had the ball right at the goal line, and they fumbled right at the end of the game, and DC was able to win. But yeah, they undefeated.
I think this XFL thing, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
man.
They got Under Armour behind them. Under Armour is doing the uniforms. They just signed a deal with Under Armour today. There's going to be a multi-year deal, so the Under Armour is going to be like a co-founder now, a partner with the league. So they're going to be making the jerseys, the fan jerseys, and everything.
Now, SWAC, tell me what you think about this. When it's all said and done, don't you think Shador will be better than this Carson Wentz? Who do you think in the end who will be the best quarterback? I think it's going to be Shador.
You talking about Carson Wentz
from
the NFL? Carson Wentz from
I'm saying when it's all said and done. Don't you think Shador is going to be better than him?
I knew Carson Wentz wasn't the guy when he first got drafted. Like, when he first got drafted after that first year, I said, he ain't got that dog in him. He's a beta male. You can't have a beta male running the pack. Like, that's not going to work. And when Philadelphia, they drafted Jalen Hurts, I said, it's over with. Everybody was clowning. Everybody was clowning me, saying, you crazy. I said, man, it's over with. Jalen Hurts get in that locker room, it's over with. Dogs know who the alpha is. They know who he is. Right. And once he got in that locker room, it was over with. Because Carson Wentz, he can't command respect from men like that. Men aren't gonna follow him like they will Jalen Hurts. And people clown me on YouTube when I was telling people that Jalen Hurts is gonna be the starter after like a year. And look what happened. Everything I said about Jalen Hurts came true. Because Jalen Hurts is one of my favorite players in college. I liked him. I said,
let me ask you this question. Is it white privilege that Philly gives him all that money?
He's definitely.
What's that? That coach gives him all that money. Then the Washington team gives him all that money.
Yeah.
Is that white privilege? What is that?
Yeah, it's definitely white privilege. Because if he was black, he would have been out. He wasn't a guy. He's going to get a fourth chance. Somebody else is going to give him some money to be their starting quarterback. Somebody else is going to give him that money. If he was the black quarterback, they would not give him that many opportunities like that. Cam Newton can't get an opportunity. They got Cam Newton. Newton doing a podcast now. And he was just at the Super Bowl not too long ago. You know, and Cam Newton still have the talent to run and throw, you know, but he's always been put on these garbage teams. That Patriots team that Cam Newton was put on was trash. Like, he didn't have no help. He was the team. If he didn't play well, they lost. So, they just did him wrong, and he's sitting out now. His career is pretty much over. He's not gonna get the opportunity that Carson Wentz get. But I would not touch Carson Wentz. Yeah. If I was an owner, I wouldn't touch him. He don't have the dog in him. He's a beta male. He does not command men.
Well,
he just can't.
Now let me ask you something. Do you think Carson Wentz will end up in Carolina? Because Frank Wright is there. He probably will give him a chance. Somebody will end up in Carolina.
Somebody gonna be stupid and get him a chance. Somebody gonna be stupid.
I'm gonna say it. He gonna get another.
Somebody gonna be dumb.
He ends up in Carolina.
Somebody
gonna give him a big contract too.
Cause see what it is. He's that prototypical quarterback that they look for. He's tall. He can throw the ball.
Yeah, 6'5", 6'6".
He can throw the ball. He has that look, that corporate look that they like. That's what the old white owners, they like those kind of guys. He has that look that they like.
Right.
And so they're going to keep giving him opportunity after opportunity. I guarantee you he's going to get another opportunity to be a quarterback.
I think so, too. I think he ends up in Carolina. So y'all get ready for him in Charlotte. He ends up in Charlotte.
And I hope Lamar Jackson gets traded to the Saints.
Because I'm a Saints fan. I want to see him leave because I think they've disrespected him.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see him leave Baltimore.
Yeah.
He's one of the most electrifying players in the league. He is all Baltimore guy, and then you're going to do him like that? I hope he leaves.
Right.
I hope he leaves.
I can see him in Miami. Because I think Tua is great. He's a good quarterback, but when it comes to those concussions, he done had 2 or 3 of them, I think. Once you start having multiple concussions like that, it's time to, start looking elsewhere at a quarterback. I know they say he going to some kind of some school or some training where he's learning how to fall or something like that. And that's not gonna help.
Okay.
That's not gonna help. Once you start having those concussions like that, I move away from
the ones that when he got hit, they were slinging him around or something, right?
Yeah, so he got swung down and he hit his head on the turf. His head on the turf, but
I don't think it had nothing to do with the way he fell. He was thrown down.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback, but I think he's gonna probably end up being like Andrew Luck and retire early. I don't think he's gonna stay playing long.
Yeah, I remember.
Too long.
Yeah, you're right. I remember Andrew Luck. He was out of Stanford. Yeah,
Lamar came from a broken home. He might not be good.
Man, please.
Hey, well, see, Lamar Jackson is one of those guys that that they be talking about. They try to. Well, see, that's one thing that they don't like about Lamar is that he's still headstrong, even though he came from a single parent home. His mom was his agent, and she didn't play no games.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So they don't like that, and he's not budging. He's saying, "Y'all gonna give me my $230-something million guaranteed, or I'm not playing."
Somebody's gonna give it to him. Somebody's gonna give it to him. Because that guy, man, listen, man, that guy's electrified. And see, one of the things people have to understand, after that Ozzie Newsome left as GM, the Baltimore team wasn't the same because he used to draft good players. They were very, they won the Super Bowl with sorry Trent Dilfer. You remember that? And he couldn't throw to nobody but Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, but they had the defense though.
The defense carried them.
Yep.
So I just think, since that Ozzie Newsome left them, they don't have the front office they once had.
I think Detroit is going to be drafting good from now on, and I hope they pay.
They got the guy from North Carolina A&T, right?
Yeah, and I think James Houston gonna make a lot of money if he performs well like he did last year. He's gonna make some millions in the NFL.
Yeah.
CJ Mosley and a couple of guys from Grambling and FAMU. I think Spady from FAMU. They play for the Orlando Guardians on the XFL, but they're terrible. Their team is terrible. They're not playing terrible. Their team is terrible. They're like 0-2 so far. They haven't won a game yet.
Right. I remember Spady's daddy was a coach at FAMU, right? In Alabama A&M, right?
I think so. No, he's big number 55, right?
Actually, he's the one that brought what's the big time quarterback that Alabama A&M had? Akil Glass.
Yeah, he's gonna be playing for the New Orleans Breakers. when
right,
the USFL.
That Spady got brought him from St. Louis because Akil Glass was actually supposed to go to Missouri. And then the coach got fired, and that's how they brought him to Alabama A&M.
Mm. So he was going to go to the SEC?
Yeah, he was going to go to Missouri. He's from St. Louis.
Mm.
Yeah, he was going to go to Missouri, but whoever the coach was, he got fired.
Yeah.
And Spady went in and brought him to Huntsville. He brought him to Alabama A&M.
I think Akil Glass is going to go to he's going to be an NFL quarterback. He's going to take a grind for him to get there.
You know what? I loved him when he was at he was the face of that program for about 3 or 4 years, man.
I'm really happy that he got that look from
he's like 6'5". He could throw the football. He was smart. He was something else, man.
Yeah, I'm really glad he got that look from New Orleans, from the
I hope, like you said, I hope it propels him to the NFL. Because he was good.
TB1
was really good, man.
With Brad Johnson at QB. Speaking of NFL, what do you think about Eric Bieniemy getting the
he should have a head coaching job.
Yeah, I thought that was
this
crazy
guy got
too.
2 Super Bowl rings, man. He's been in the Super Bowl how many times? 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
How many times he been in the Super Bowl?
He's won 2 Super Bowl, but they've been
Super
three out of the last 5 years.
Them 2 guys from Philadelphia. One, this their first time going to Super Bowl. One got the Indianapolis job, and then the other one got, was it Arizona? You know, one of them got the defense coordinator got a head coaching job. The offense coordinator got a head coaching job. And they went to the Super Bowl this year. And then Eric can't get a head coaching job. I don't understand that. Well, I do understand.
You know what?
I shouldn't say that. I do understand.
I think Washington's probably going to make him the head coach, though. Because Washington.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Because Ron Rivera, I can see him retiring. I can see Ron Rivera retiring soon. And I believe they probably made that deal. They probably made that deal behind the scenes like, hey, I'm not going to be here long. You know, I'm probably going to coach another year or so. So, you know, we go ahead and make you the assistant head coach, and then we'll give you the keys after I leave. That's what I believe.
Who's going to buy I'm not the Redskins. Who's going to buy the Commanders? Because they forcing that little guy, Daniel Snyder, they forcing him out. They want him out.
So
who's going to be the new ownership of the Commanders?
So Jeff Bezos wanted to buy the team, but the Dan Snyder guy, he doesn't want to sell to Jeff Bezos because he doesn't like his political beliefs. So he doesn't want to sell to him, but they're not going to give him a choice. Like they want him gone. Yeah. They don't want him affiliated with the ownership club anymore. So if Jeff Bezos say
he killed that franchise.
Yeah.
Daniel Snyder killed that. Listen, I can remember from the time I was a little kid, the Washington Redskins was one of the top organizations in the NFL. That Daniel Snyder guy killed that organization. He killed it.
Right.
He killed it, man.
Right.
Because, you know, under the, what's that guy's name? Joe Gibbs, man, they won like 3 or 4 Super Bowls, didn't they? What did they win, 3?
I know they won 2, I think. I think they won 2.
I know Doug Williams won 1.
And I think they won another.
Won 1. What about Joe Theismann? Didn't he win 1?
Probably so. I wasn't never a Redskins fan. I was never a Redskins fan.
I loved it. They called us, remember the wide receiver was called the Fun Bunch.
Yeah.
It was Art Monk, Charlie Brown, who was from South Carolina State, Alvin Garrett. Who else was in there? I had a homeboy named Virgil C. Somebody else was in. They had a wide receiver core out this world.
Y'all, the phone lines are open if you want to call in and talk about the topics that we talked about tonight. You know, I know we're going on the tangent by NFL, but the phone lines are open 657-390-4814. If not, we'll shut the show down in a minute. But yeah, go ahead, Miss Ford.
Oh yeah, but listen, like I said, I'm looking forward to all of these SWAC schools and even the MEAC schools. I want to see the spring football because you know, really, I think we only have 3 quarterbacks who we know are going to be the starters in it. Now we know that the guy at Florida A&M, what's his name? What's that quarterback's name at Florida A&M? We know he's going to be the starter.
Musa?
Yeah, Musa's going to be the starter. Jackson State's got to have a starter. I don't know who's going to be the starter at Alabama A&M. I don't know who's going to be the. Well, I know that kid from Auburn's going to be the starter at Alabama State. That Davis, that D. Davis kid. I don't know who's going to be the starter at Bethune-Cookman. Okay, now I think that Missouri transfer is going to be the starter at Alcorn. That kid that's coming from Virginia Tech or South Carolina, he's probably going to be the starter at Jackson State. Now, I think it's going to be a battle out there at Grambling. Some people saying they believe Calvez is going to be it, but I don't know. Now, what are you hearing about Southern? Who's going to be we know that Andrew Body at Andrew Body, we know he's going to be the.
I haven't heard anything about Southern. Let's see who this is calling, Mr. Ford. Let me get this call on.
Okay.
What's going on, Carly? You live? Talk to me.
What's going on, bud? It's Gabriel. How you doing tonight?
Hey, how you doing, Gabriel?
I'm straight. Hey, I guess just two things I want to kind of like. You know, how you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. So how y'all like? I guess the first content video from Jackson State with TC Taylor. How you like it?
I like it.
Man, I'm liking everything TC Taylor.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a TC Taylor fan.
Better quality.
Yeah. Right. And then you notice they got a new I guess a new director for their social media.
Yeah.
So Neely gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
I told him before Neely comes to Jackson, he probably gonna need bodyguards, man.
And I tell you
I was telling people like they've stepped up their content because the camera that they're using, that's a good camera that they're using. Because I know a little bit about cameras.
Yeah.
And
you notice
that camera is Netflix approved. So you can make a Netflix movie. They can make a Netflix movie with their camera and submit their movie to Netflix. They can do a documentary with that camera, and then they can submit it to Netflix, and Netflix let them put it on there. So they're using quality equipment.
So you know they Neely's gone, and then like I heard Charles Bishop didn't like how Neely did it. Now Charles Bishop he just all the way out, and then Brian got up there in Colorado. Now he can't even pray no more. You know that,
huh? Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, the what you call him, the atheist said that he was offending them, right?
Right.
Yeah, I heard that too about the atheist. Yeah,
it's an atheist group.
And then
group out there.
And then one last thing, I'm gonna let it go. Okay, so I know they were supposed to have been doing some type of meeting, I guess, for a booster. Man, they had Prime dressing up like I said with a blazer and a 10-gallon cowboy hat. I said, go on here, Stephen. Go on here. Hey, what they say? He got what he wanted, didn't
he? Yeah, he did.
But that's all I really had to say. Again, I'm like y'all. I'm looking forward to the next season, and like you said, Mr. Ford, especially the spring season, and see what we got to see who these
quarterbacks are going to be, because the SWAC is a quarterback league. You can't win in that SWAC without them quarterbacks. You got to have them quarterbacks.
Right.
Well, that's all I wanted to say, gents. Y'all have a good one, and I'm gonna keep on listening.
All right, thank you.
Okay, have a good night, then.
All
right, Ms. Ford. Let me let you know this. So on Twitter, I was having a conversation with another content creator on Twitter when I posted about Shedeur winning the Black College Football Player of the Year. And so they were trying to say Davius Richard should have gotten an award. The guy from NCCU should have gotten an award. Now, I said that I don't think Davius Richard is going to be a quarterback at the next level. I said that he's a good athlete, and he needs to be trying to switch positions right now. He needs to be trying to switch position right now if he wants to go to the NFL. Because I don't see him as an NFL quarterback. I think Shedeur is still going to need work, but Shedeur might be able to become an NFL quarterback. But I don't think Davius Richard had the arm talent. And a lot of people got mad at me because I said that. But it's the truth. Like I don't see when I see him throw the ball, I don't see NFL arm. I don't see that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say it like this. I thought that Shedeur was deserving. I thought that Shedeur had an outstanding year. I thought that Shedeur put on a show in that Celebration Bowl. Yeah, I was for Shedeur. I was for Shedeur. I'm like you. I think that the best thing about that Rich's kids is his legs.
Yeah.
The body that he has, I could see him in the NFL as a wide receiver, a defensive back, or I could even do as physical as he is. I could see him as a linebacker. I really could. I could see him as a line. But yeah, I thought that Shedeur was deserving. I thought it was with Shedeur.
And I tell people don't
quarterback this year.
Don't get emotional. Like, stop lying to these kids. Stop telling these kids, yeah, you know, you're gonna be able to go to the NFL and stuff. If you really love these kids, you would tell them, hey, you know, hey, you might want to consider training yourself to learn how to run routes and things like that, so you could be a millionaire and get to the league. Because you don't want to try to keep going with this. Because you can look at him and tell he doesn't have the arm talent. So they need to be telling him, hey man, you have the athleticism to play on Sundays. Go in there. There's a lot of guys in the NFL that were quarterbacks in college. There's a lot of guys like that.
Now you remember the guy that Jackson had, Jalen Jones? You remember him?
Yeah. He needs to switch position.
I thought that he could go in the league as a wide receiver or a defensive back, or maybe because he had NFL talent. He was not as a quarterback, but I could see him doing some things in the league, like I said, as a wide out, maybe a tight end, or as a defensive back, and even a linebacker. With the speed, the body he had, I could see Jalen Jones going to the league in. Somebody said Jalen Jones been on 11 teams. Yeah, he been on a lot of teams, but I'm just saying the body type.
Yeah,
man,
he could be a million
going in the league.
He could be a millionaire. He could be a millionaire running routes, being a receiver.
Yeah.
And they need coaches and people to be telling these kids that you know, like, hey man, quarterback might not work for you at the next level.
Yeah.
Switch positions and become a wide receiver, and you know you can beat something in the league. Because now everybody's not like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was throwing hella touchdowns in college. So when people was trying to get him to switch positions, it was crazy because he's throwing touchdowns against the big schools in college. So come on now, he won the Heisman. You don't make somebody that won the Heisman to switch positions. That's just crazy. So it's a totally different thing when it came to Lamar Jackson. But Jalen Jones, if I'm Jalen Jones, I switch positions, become a tight end, a wide receiver, something like that, and I become a millionaire. I make millions in the NFL. That's what he can do.
Yeah, because you know we got two of them here in Atlanta. They're both from Prairie View. One was named Kadarius Hodge, and the other kid is named. He has a championship ring. He's from California. He was recruited to Prairie View by Willie Simmons. What's that kid's name? He's a linebacker for the Falcons. We got two players on the Falcons right now from Prairie View. And the one that's the linebacker, he originally came to Prairie View to be a wide receiver. And then Dooley, and they'll switch him to either a stand-up defensive end or a linebacker. I can't think of that. Is it Bale? Quentin Bale. Is that right? What's his name? You know, he got a championship. He was drafted by the Raiders. He got a championship ring with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's with the Falcons now.
I don't remember.
Is his name Bale? I can't think of that.
Nobody in the comments said name.
Huh?
I said I don't see anything in the comments yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what I think his name is, but he's from.
Somebody said, "Are you serious? Y'all seriously sitting here debating if Shedeur should switch positions?" No, Shedeur is fine at quarterback. I think he can spin it. He has an arm.
David Ritchie,
yeah,
talking about the other kid.
You talking about
Central.
North Carolina Central quarterback?
No, but Richards could be DB size. Somebody said Richards is not tight end size, but I tell you what, JJ, he's DB size. I could see him being a DB. I could see him being a wide receiver.
But see, the thing about it is they got too much pride, and a lot of them guys not gonna switch positions because they got too much pride, and they want to be a quarterback, and they know I want to be a quarterback. This is my position. This is where I'm gonna stay, and it'll cost them some money.
Yeah.
But
right.
I just wish these guys would, understand, okay, I'm throwing 10, 15 interceptions in the MEAC. I'm not going to get drafted as a quarterback. Let me switch over to wide receiver and do my thing with that. Well, Mr. Ford, you're going to close us out. We're going to close the show down tonight.
Hey, listen. There's so many good things happening in the SWAC. You know who I want you to talk to? I want you to make him give on your show a State of the Union of the SWAC by Dr. Charles McClellan. I want to hear what is his ideas for 23, 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
What's your new ideas? And the other thing I want to ask him about is I want that tournament moved out of Birmingham to Jackson or to Baton Rouge. Because I'm sick of this. You have a championship game with 300 people at the game. That don't make no sense. Move that game to Jackson, Mississippi, or move that game to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I want you to get him. I want him to give a State of the SWAC on your show.
Wow, that would be cool if I could get him to call in and talk about what's
going on.
Yeah, I
want him to call in. Because we don't talk crazy about him like the motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I love Dr. McClellan. I think he's doing a good job.
I like it too.
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job.
I would like to talk to him. I would like to, like I said, I would like to hear, about a 10, 15-minute State of the Union for the SWAC. What are we going to do for 23, 24, 25? What are our plans? What are our short-range goals? What are our long-range goals? Because let me tell you something, that SWAC is hot, man.
Yeah.
That SWAC is getting this much publicity as the Big 12 and that thing out there. Matter of fact, people don't understand. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why y'all mad with Deion, because let me tell you something. They got two major problems out there that Colorado. Number one, the people in Colorado don't give a damn about no Buffalo football. The second thing is they might be in the worst Power 5 conferences here. They in the Pac-12. Listen, they done lost USC, they done lost UCLA, and they're getting ready to lose Oregon and Washington. And they're going to lose Washington State, and they're going to lose Oregon State. So
yeah, they definitely going to...
The thing right now is we got to stay focused on what's happening in the SWAC. And like I said, I'm going to close with this. I want you to call and see can you interview or have him to give a State of the SWAC address on your show for at least 5 to 10 minutes, okay?
Okay. Appreciate that, Mr. Ford.
All right. Listen, y'all have a good night, okay?
All right, thank you. Let me shout out to the contributors through Cash App. Let me see. Okay, we got one. Shout out to Derek for the donation through Cash App. The donations are very important. Keeps me motivated, keeps me, wanting to provide content and being able to provide content. So I really appreciate that. Shows me that you all are enjoying the content and that you are really liking the channel. So I appreciate that. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And I'm going to see you guys on the next episode, and y'all have a good night. All right, I'm gone.